Hello, viewers. Welcome back to the Not So Secret, Not So Underground Bunker location. I'm your host, Cav Trooper Munoz. And this, if you don't have this, go to Amazon, find the $10 coupon, and buy this item today. What this brings to the table for $100 is it's hand operated. No electricity required. So if you buy this, leave it in the box and stick it in your closet, you may never need it. Oh, but I suggest getting the needles and the thread too while you're at it. Yes, that is leather that it has sewn through. That is not thin leather, and it'll sew through that. So I want to take a little time to talk about unemployment, because there's a lot of misinformation going on from a lot of preppers, a lot of conservative channels about unemployment. I myself have been unemployed for over a year. I know what you're thinking. What? How could you stay unemployed for over a year? First of all, how come you're not out on the street? How come you're not living under a bridge? Well, thanks to my beautiful and talented wife, I am not out on the street. But the fact of the matter is there's a lot of misinformation going on out there about get back to work, there's tons of jobs. Absolutely, that is true. There are people hiring at fast food places, restaurants, construction, mechanical jobs. There are people hiring all over this place. I mean, you cannot throw a stick without hitting a job here. But there's a couple of caveats to that. There's a couple of problems for me. First of all, this ain't my first rodeo. I'm not a young man just out of high school. I'm not a young man just out of college in my 20s. As a matter of fact, I didn't go to college. And back when I was a young man, you didn't need to go to college. Yeah, the cicadas are serenading here. Hope it's not too loud. But you didn't need to go to college to get a decent wage-paying job that you could support your family. In my case, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to go into the service. And I did. And I spent my entire youth and physical abilities in the service. At about 13 years, I had a couple accidents. If you know anything about me, you know that I jumped out of perfectly good airplanes for a large part of my career. And what I didn't know was that had, on a couple of occasions, I had hard landings, which had compressed the discs in my back. Now, I don't want anybody to cry for me. That's not what this is about. I became disabled, so I got out of the military, so I got tech training. I got training in computers and got a good job right out the gate, right out of leaving the service. I was employed within, well, actually I was employed and leaving for a job before I left the service. And for the last 20 years, being an IT professional has paid well for me. It has allowed me to live a good life. However, things started to change because not only did I go to IT training, a huge number of people in a lot of different countries went to IT training. Corporations like to put on a good show. They like to put on a good corporate face. But in reality, it's the bottom line that drives everything. So you have these corporations that would be more than happy to fund government entities that import foreign workers or that move manufacturing jobs, technical jobs, even phone center jobs offshore. Because the fact of the matter is, the companies that used to pay me before, they can get 4 or 5 workers overseas for what they paid me. With the COVID, there have been a lot, and other issues, there have been a lot of constraints put on getting IT jobs. First of all, anything in cybersecurity, you better be able to pass not only a background investigation, but a personality investigation and a security clearance investigation and a credit investigation. So it's not uncommon for me to apply for a job, and they're very upfront. The hiring process is usually about 3 to 4 months. So it means for each quarter that I've been unemployed, I really have a chance the quarter before to get employed. And now that they've took the human element out of it, and everything on your resume goes through what's called an ATS, an applicant tracking system. So just out of the gate, usually you go through an applicant tracking system. If they find enough keywords on your resume that meet what they're hiring for, then you may get past that gate. However, there are some telltale things on your resume that can preclude you. And let's make no mistake about it. When they do a background investigation, they know about all your clubs you belong to. They know about what you did, any criminal history. Your fingerprints are taken, or if you're like me, back when you were in the service, you had both your fingerprints and DNA taken. So believe me, these people are not out to lunch, and they know exactly who you are. So all you guys who are in the service and think that you're, being part of the 3% or the Oath Keepers, they're not going to find out about that. They know. They know already. Don't kid yourself. And if you're in any pro-America organizations, you're done. You're done in IT. If you're not pro-trans, LGBTQ, blah, 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 you're done. You're out. That's it. It doesn't matter if you care about, if these people are whatever or not. You're just done. So that's why I'm kind of pissed off at all these people who say, oh, go get a job, go get a job. Well, you got to remember, for people like me who have been in a career for a long time, not only is that our job, those kind of positions pay for life insurance because it's included, disability insurance because it's included, health care. Medical care is outrageous. I don't care what the Obamacare site says. It is outrageous. And Obamacare is no better and no less than actual real health care. If you've been tracking the cost, Obamacare is not cheaper. You also have dental care. If you have kids, then, and that's another thing, they don't want to hear about your kids. The reason you can't ask about kids in an interview is because nobody cares that you have kids. They want to make sure at the kind of positions I'm applying for that you're at work 24/7. If they can get you there 24/7, 365, that's where they want you. All the free lunches, all the snacks, free Cokes, free coffee, that's all designed for one thing, to keep you working and in your seat. And that's it. So take it easy on all these people that or have been out of work for a year or more. It's not because we're trying not to get hired. It's because there's a whole new ball game out there for people like me, and we just don't get it. We don't understand. We used to be able to walk in, go to an interview, shake a hand, and start work the next Monday. That was a typical thing. And now all that has changed. There is no next Monday. It's next Monday 3 months from now, or next Monday 2 months from now. And nobody's going to tell you how far you are in the process most of the time. You'll either get a sorry, you're not a fit, or they'll just ghost you. So what am I doing? I'm not sitting on with my thumb up my butt. I've gone to school this whole year that I've been out of work. I've gone to school, try and get more certifications to make myself more appealing to employers. That hasn't worked out. So I've contacted the Texas workforce. They just don't seem to be able to help people like me, because for a lot of people it doesn't compute that you can't get a job. They're still in the mindset that you can go to a job interview on Thursday, go through the interview, shake a hand, hear if you're the candidate that was selected on Friday, and start work Monday. But those days are gone. So let me show you what I am doing. Let me show you what's happening here that I'm trying to do now, because if I don't get a job soon, money eventually runs out. I'm not the Rockefellers. So here's what I'm doing. Before too long ago, I picked up this Orature LaserMaster 2 Pro, and I'm trying to start engraving on the leather. If you know, I was doing leather a couple years before I lost my job, laid off as it were. And so that's what I'm continuing to do. However, I'm doing it more, going to try and do it more full-time now. And hopefully this will pay the bills, along with getting some day jobs, some part-time IT jobs. That's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm not just sitting on my couch eating Twinkies and wishing for that I was a brain surgeon. That's just not happening. So I'm going to make different things, all handmade leather stuff, and hopefully it'll work out for me. And if you want to see what I'm making, if you want to start viewing my leather channel, then you can check out my other YouTube channel, Big Chief Leatherworks, at YouTube, where I'll start posting more content. I am definitely going to expand my social media presence, but mostly for the leather. So you can find me on Instagram at Big Chief Leatherworks. I'm not on Facebook. The censorship is just, talk about un-American and rubbing people the wrong way. That's just crazy over there. All right, so thanks for letting me get that off my chest, and this is Cav Trooper Munoz. I'm out.